Was there anybody that you kind of avoided talking smack to because if you did,
Yeah.
your spirit got bigger and they wanted to beat you, or?
Michael Jordan. You don't want to mess with God.
That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Deal ahead to Jordan. Michael Jordan all the way to the hoop. Airborne Jordan.
And of course, the satanic, pedophilic Illuminatists from Disney are also associated with the number 23. So remember when I told you about the Roman general Julius Caesar, who was stabbed 23 times? You see, once again, this is symbolism of July 23rd. You see, the month of July, the etymology, is actually named after Julius Caesar. So the 7th month is named after Julius Caesar, July, and the 23. Once again, you have July 23rd. And you'll notice the related numerology of the 7 and the 23. And I also said to keep an eye on the 5 and the 11 as well, which we'll get into later. Now remember that on July 23rd, when Sirius rises, it's the beginning of the annual flood season of the Nile River. So perhaps this is why they have the story of Julius Caesar and him being saved from drowning. So the ancient Egyptian ritual of July 23rd was carried over to the Roman Empire. Now the Greek god of water or of the sea is Poseidon, which is the Roman Neptune god. Now, would you believe that the Romans celebrated Neptunalia on July 23rd? So we are all familiar with the blue watery planet of Neptune, which was discovered on September 23rd. So once again, September 23rd is 723. Remember that septum or sept means 7. Now the deep blue sea of the underworld or of the abyss brings me to the house of Anubis, which of course has the symbolism of the all-seeing eye of the Illuminati. Now of course Anubis is the god of the underworld, the jackal-headed or dog-headed god of death. And of course Anubis is related to the god Osiris, and thus related to Sirius. Thus the dog days of Sirius on July 23rd. So it should be no surprise that the house of Anubis is related to the sacred numerology of 23. So Anubis is the ancient Egyptian god of embalming the dead, and thus related to the sacred water. Thus Anubis ferried the dead to the underworld. And ferrying the dead to the underworld carried on to the Greek concepts of mythology. And even today we find this concept of ferrying the dead over the river to the underworld. So this is why you must pay a fare if you want to be ferried. So now you know why they ferried in Anubis when they brought him to the museum in New York. So the death fairy of the death dog Anubis gives rise to the Greek mythology of the river Styx and the death fairy, and of course the dogs that protect the souls from leaving. Now Anubis and Osiris were also connected to the dog star Sirius in another way as well. They were related to the number 70. 70 was the number of days that Sothis or Sirius was absent from the sky or was in the underworld. And this death theology of the killing of the king or the dying of the king or the god is the same theme that is carried on throughout religions to this very day. The worshipping of the slain god. And thus the Illuminati's secret society of the death cult of the skull and bones. So like I said, death is closely associated with July 23rd, as well as the very number of 23 itself. And with the number 23, you will often find the numbers of 5, 7, and 11. So we have the Illuminati triangle of 666, and of course 2/3 is also 666. So like I said, the power element of 5 is always associated with the number 23, because 2 plus 3 is obviously 5. The power of 5 and the number 23